The topic of how brands engage with platforms, YouTube, Facebook, etc., was much discussed at this morning's CMO Summit hosted by The Economist. It featured the CMOs from P&G, Taco Bell and Lego. The big takeout? The carrot and the stick. Brands need to be prepared to pull off these platforms if they're not satisfied with what they're doing, but only as a last resort. Rather, brands need to be working with their agencies and engaging with the platforms on a continuous basis on the topics of safe lists, privacy, and cross-platform transparency. Are the platforms doing enough? Mark Pritchard asked. His answer: none of us are doing enough. We need to do more.
40% of CEOs won't protect the marketing budget in a cost-cutting exercise. How do we fix that? Well, McKinsey had the answer. From their research, what CMOs need to do is they need to become the unifier. What does that mean? It means they need to get closer to all of the aspects of the business, not just the marketing department. They need to break down the walls of the marketing department, get closer to the C-suite, speak their language, get very much closer to the HR department, because that is the key for attracting talent. And that's how we address the answer, so that actually marketing is 3 times more likely to be protected when you follow the traits of a unifier.
So exclusive data from Forrester here at Cannes is showing us that as an industry we are significantly over-investing in technology while significantly under-investing in creativity. And what this is creating is homogenized customer experiences across brands. So think airline industry, airline apps, coffee apps, fashion apps, they're all very much the same because each brand has access or can pay for the same technologies. And what's missing is the key ingredient of innovation and creativity. And all of this is having a detrimental impact on brands across the world from every category. And what the data plus some ROI modelling is suggesting to course correct this is a $19 billion shift in investment from technology into creativity. And the result of this is a 20% growth across brands over a 6-year period in the US alone.
An interesting insight from the world of sports marketing. The NFL's CMO talked about how they harness the power of the greatest advocates for their brand and their sport, the players themselves. The NFL realised that the players had greater followers on social and greater interaction with fans than they would ever have themselves. The question and the challenge was how could they influence the creation of that content? The answer was simple: by embracing it. The NFL now run programs teaching their players what type of content to create and how to share. And for their biggest stars, they provide them with local content creation experts. What does that mean? It means they send people out with those players on their daily lives to film, edit, and help share that content.
So how do brands become a force for good? Well, that was high on the agenda from Mark Pritchard of P&G. And his top 3 priorities are: number 1, diversity and inclusion. And this relates to both talent in the industry, so making sure that we have a diverse talent, but also removing the non-conscious bias in advertising, which is critical by 2020. Number 2 was accelerate sustainability and what we're doing for sustainability. And number 3 was responsibility in media. So making it a safe environment for consumers, removing anonymity to fuel that safer environment. And that will be a benefit to everyone.
So I've just come from a really cool panel discussion on brand activism in a hypercharged environment. And it centred around the fact that 75% of millennials now expect companies to take a stand and to speak out about the world's most important issues. And it's not long before this becomes the responsibility and the priority for brand marketers. We've all observed how brands taking a stand on cultural or societal issues or not taking a stand on those issues can have an effect on its reputation, on its sales, on its bottom line, and even its shareholder value. And the panel talked about how brands don't necessarily always need a purpose. What brands do need is a conscience, and that the decisions that we make should be based around our brand values, as opposed to some mission statement that may or may not be of consequence to the consumers that we're talking to, or to the issues that we're trying to align with. And so for brand activism to really work, the true test is that brands have moved to change something in society, whether that's legislation, whether that's policy, or whether that's making things better for the issue that it is they're supporting.